Hey everybody, it's Dorr with Tactical Hyve. In today's video, we're going to be covering the top 5 white light mistakes. All right, we're back and starting off with number 1. First and foremost, light ADs, okay? That means accidental discharge. These are not acceptable, ever, but they do happen. The number 1 culprit, in my opinion, is gonna be pressure pads. So if you run a pressure pad, you're probably the most likely guy to have one. So I do have a pressure pad on this one because it's period correct. It's a build, I'm a nerd like that, it's kind of my thing. But there's a little trick here. It's a very small pressure pad, and I have it situated in a spot where I'm less likely to hit it because my hand's usually not up there. You know, I keep my hand a little farther back when I'm patrolling, when I'm shooting, and then when I need the light, I reach forward and I go ahead and give her a squeeze. So if you run a pressure pad on your primary long gun, I advise against it. I think, you know, for a more modern setup, I have a Surefire Scout. I don't run a pressure pad. I don't run anything like that. I just have the push button in the back. So I can touch it lightly, it comes on, I let go, it goes off. That's generally all I use this for. But in the event, I could turn it on, leave it on, go hands-free. I think this is a superior way to run a white light on a primary, simply for it just cuts down on the likelihood of an AD. All right, number 2 is gonna be overuse of white light. Overexposing yourself. If you think what lights attract bugs, they definitely attract bullets. So when you're using your white light, anytime you're using your white light, especially in an open area, you want to use it as sparingly as possible. Don't think of it as your weapon mounted light as a flashlight. Think of it more as like a camera flash. You want to take very fast, quick flashes with your light and then be ready to move and take cover because lights do attract bullets. All right, so number 3 is light placement on the gun itself. I generally like to run my lights along the left side of the gat. Why? Because it protects it. You know, I generally have it up against my body. So if I go ahead and stow this thing, retain it, if I got to get in and out of a vehicle, if I got to climb over a wall, I don't want this thing getting damaged. So I tend to place it on the left side. So that's just what works for me. You got to figure out what works for you. But a couple of little things. You don't want it to impede any other function. Okay, so it can't block anything out. If it's constantly getting caught up on your sling, if it's hard to reach, you know, for when the times that you do need it, you don't want to have to, you know, contort or do anything weird or unnatural. Your light placement is up to you, but it needs to work for you. Okay, don't just go sticking it on your gun and trying to figure out how to use it later. Try different things out, you know, see what really works for you. This is what works for me, you know, but please, you know, have a plan. All right, guys, so number 4 is change your batteries, okay? Do not wait until you've got dead low batteries to figure this out. Stay ahead of the game, pay attention. When you first pull your weapons out before you go out to use them, part of your function check should be checking your lights, checking your optics, checking anything that has a battery in it. Flashlight batteries have a tendency to die even when you're not using them. I don't know how it happens, but it does. If I don't use a rifle for a really long time, I'll pull it out and the battery will be almost dead on whatever flashlight's mounted on there. Come up with a routine, do whatever you gotta do, but stay ahead of it, okay? Because you don't want to realize you need a new battery once you actually need to use that light. It could make the difference. All right, last but not least, number 5, training. Guys, you gotta train with your light. If you do not train and train regularly, in a situation where you actually do need white light, you may very well forget that it's even there. You'll be so sucked in and target focused on what the problem really is that you will not even think to use your weapon mounted light. If you watched the one-man CQB video from a few weeks ago, we did run into an instance of not using a weapon mounted light when needed. So we're out here rectifying that issue. So please remember to train, guys. Training is the most important part of all of this. Doesn't matter how great your gear is, doesn't matter how cool your light is, doesn't matter how many lumens it has. If it has lumens on top of lumens, it doesn't matter. You got to train with it, and of course keep your battery fresh. All right, guys, that was my top 5 most common white light mistakes. If you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.